portal. And then I would like to invite everyone here. Now this is an open invitation because I know members of the programs team are already using it. And if they're not, you have been strongly encouraged by me before to use it because this is where we keep all of our time off requests, all of our vacation calendars, information on your trainings, that kind of thing. So I'm going to give you a tour of this, and then I invite you to please do use it because this is a nice opportunity for us to hold lots of important information, just like schedules. So is Vicki working on a Monday? Well, we may know because we can go and look up her schedule and she's here. Or does Liza's vacation end on Tuesday or does it end on Wednesday? I can't remember. We can pull it up here. So please stop me if you have any questions. And at the end of this, I have a little presentation that I'll actually email to everybody. That way you have access to learning how to log in to the system. So please just holler. So this is the dashboard. The dashboard is kind of the central hub of the shift planning system. So it tells us who's currently working. So we are all on schedule today, and it looks like we're all here. We share notes with each other. Charisse and Lauren do a wonderful job on things that are happening in the house. Like we are dedicated to providing lots of fun activities, movies. So Charisse does a wonderful job letting us know what movies are playing or what activities are being hosted. Greg, in the interest of communication between guest service members who work 24/7, he'll share friendly reminders on why certain aspects of data intake or data entry are important. And so this is just a fun way to kind of do little reminders. Lauren here on what groups are going to be here and who needs a tour. So this is a nice, very quick way to send little messages and reminders to people throughout the work week. Along the top here, there are different screens that you can navigate to, but the most important one of the shift planning software is our schedule. So this shows us the schedule for the week for all employees of the Ronald McDonald House. So you can see Alejandro here. We have a volunteer profile. Let me go back to the dashboard. Everyone remembers the old way we used to kind of assign rooms, right? We had a black key or a black binder, and we would go in with a pencil. Which is good, which was a nice, way. What we've done is added a portal into the shift planning system where all of that has been digitized and you can access it at multiple locations. So instead of having it at one computer or on one computer screen, we have 4 computers that can all access the daily arrival list, and it's updated in real time. So in the event that Carrie's at the front desk and she happens to go to the phone on the left side of the desk, if someone is just simply asking, I'm calling to see if I have a room today, at that computer you have access to pull that up. Or similar to development, if one day we're short-staffed and phones are going like crazy, you guys have access to that information, and we'll train you on obviously how to access it. But if somebody calls, this is the Johnson family, we're just curious if we have a room today, you can pull up this live document, which is organized by date here, which allows us to kind of organize or keep our thoughts organized. And say, let's see how many people we actually have on the waiting list for today. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Let's see how many people we have on the waiting list for today. So this is the Jensen family. Oh, it does look like we have a room available for you. When do you think you'll be able to check in? We update these notes and then it saves automatically, and then everybody in the organization who has access to the system has access to this information. We also keep track of shift notes throughout the day at the bottom. So in the event that there are important things that we need to communicate with each other, and we actually took, praise to Rebecca and Kim who were really adamant about this process, we can share with each other important things that are happening at the house. So because we're 24/7, information share is super critical. So we try our best to make sure that everyone has access to the information they need to do their job well. So back to, that's why. Yes, please do.
So can you go back to
Oh,
our
yeah.
daily check-in? So in order for your notes to show up, you have to hit edit in browser.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
That's key. Otherwise,
And the reason that's important is we don't want you to just go in and start accidentally pushing things and messing up everything. So, yeah. So, yes, kudos to Grant actually for that. Leaps and bounds, 21st century technology. So so that's why we have the amazing volunteer here, because the volunteers, we had a lot of feedback from the volunteers, which we very much appreciate. That is, I never have access to the information. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if somebody calls, how do I get that information? Now our volunteers know that they can sit down, pull up the system, and within 20 seconds they have access to all of that information. So we have all of the schedules here of all of the employees, so I won't go through so you can see. But a really neat feature here is that you can access employee schedules by name of employee, but also by position. I look at the schedule every day, multiple times a day, and I have an app on my phone that shows me the schedule. I look at it by position because this shows me who's working in admin for the day, who is working in the development office. So Kim is the only one who's currently there because Kim has access to, yeah, so, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Danielle.
So I had a problem with the app when I looked it up on my phone.
Okay.
Like it said that I didn't work on a day that showed up on Casey shift planning. So sometimes I don't know if that's just like a glitch or
That
something
might
like
have been
that.
because she didn't post the schedule, or she added it after she posted the schedule. So
I
think
even
that's
like
something-
logged in, like re-logged it out, and then I still didn't see it. I was just like, oh.
So in the event that happens, let us know so we can figure out,
Yeah.
we can dive into what the problem was and whip Casey into shape for screwing up.
For example,
So,
like that one, the one on Thursday isn't logged in, so she hasn't posted that schedule.
so but thank you for bringing that up. So we'll address any of those issues. And in the event that you experience any issue, please let us know because we want to make this as functional as possible, right? No more square pegs, no more round holes. We want to do things with with intention. And so here we have who's working up in the family room. And we had a lovely conversation with Lisa Wednesday. We're going to be adding the Ogden Regional Family Room here so we know when Lisa is around. We also have guest services. This is the biggest one, obviously, because we're 24/7, so we can see when Grant is here or who's here in the morning, who's here in the early afternoon, who's here in the evening, and then who's here overnight. And then for us, this is really important. And one of the things that we struggled with for a time period was we don't know who's working at the front desk and we don't know who's working in housekeeping. So I don't know who to call if I have a room that needs to be cleaned or if a room has been cleaned and I need to let the front staff know that the room has been cleaned. There was this very simple disconnect. And what we've tried to do is create a space where Grant can pull up at any moment the housekeeping schedule and he can find that, oh, Sherry's the one who's here today, so I'm going to give Sherry a call instead of going to Ira. And Ira, who's here today? Oh, I don't know, maybe it's Anna or maybe it's Sherry. Okay, well, we'll call both of them. Calling Anna on her day off, and then Anna's like, well, Sherry should be there. What's going on? So,
I didn't know. I don't know
yeah.
what's happening.
So this is really a helpful, having the schedule is really incredibly helpful. A couple of things here. We also manage time off in this schedule along with shift trades. So oftentimes we'll have things come up, right? It's life. I've got a dentist appointment that I totally forgot about because I scheduled it 6 months ago, but I've already been scheduled. What I can come and do is ask for my shift. I can just trade my shift or offer it out to anybody else to pick it up. Once I've done that, it notifies the rest of the team. And this really is more for kind of like the front of house operations programs teams. But in the event that Nathan finds out that he has to go to a dentist appointment, he can release his shift and it'll notify Sherry and Anna and everybody else, and they can pick it up for him. That way, you don't have to feel trapped in your schedule, and that way you can help the organization get shifts covered instead of just relying on the organization covering your shifts for you in those events. And then it tracks vacation, who's on vacation, when they're on vacation. And for us, those of us who create schedules, we're not forgetting that somebody wanted to have Valentine's Day off to be with their loved ones. It'll just remind us so we know not to schedule Charisse. So those are the requests. This is our lovely and beautiful staff here at the Ronald McDonald House. Very cute photos of everybody, the Chicago Bears. If you have, when you log into the shift planning system, you can elect to providing a profile, right? So if you put your phone number in there, it'll provide it to the staff. Now, you're not required to do that, but yeah. Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
is one online.
So I would just remind everybody, caveat there, that the information that's held here is confidential and not to share it with other individuals out of the respect.
So there's a login track record of who
Yeah,
was
yep,
logged in, when they logged in, and then there are different levels of administration. So different people can see different things. So not everybody can see everything.
yep, that's right, that's right. So if I click Blythe here, Miss Blythe, who's not 14, as one of the administrators of the system, it'll show me when Blythe is working next, when she's been scheduled next, when she worked last. It'll also give me some other information, when her birthday is, which is July 31st. So everybody remember that. But what's also really neat, and side note, we're recording today's